Hey, we're live now.
We're live. Yay.
We are. That's the wrong browser. I'll fix that. That's the one. There we go. Guess I'll go post the link all over the place.
Oh, what's...
Hey, Londoner.
Suppose we better go and check YouTube out.
Gotta make the rounds all over the place. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. And a little Twitter. A Twitter. A Twitter. Ba-doo-ba-doo-ba. Ba-doo-ba-doo-ba. That still works, right? Yay, it sure does. Hooray. All right. I don't know what you want to see about OBS. There really isn't anything special. It's a lot like it's a lot like Audacity. We have that, like we go through it and we show everything, but it's not really too terribly informative or something that I guess you couldn't eventually figure out on your own. But yeah, I mean, I'll show whatever.
Well, I've got OBS installed, so...
I mean, really, the only thing special I do, well, the hardest part about OBS is figuring out where your sources are coming from. Let me see.
Right.
I think, can I do OBS? Oh, I sure can. Look at this. Boop. But then you get, hey, Nishant, you get this. I guess you'll really only be able to see it on the live stream. But,
yeah.
Yay! Let me see what happens. Do you get that window? No, see, you don't see all the windows. That's going to be really hard to do without doing like a full desktop share, which I guess will be fine.
Heads up, guys. Windows won't be supporting M1 chip.
Oh, yeah. Well, wait. Is that for sure 100% never going to happen?
Never. I just read through an article and had an argument with few Windows enthusiasts.
Wow. So no boot camp then.
Oh, let me share that link. 1 minute.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Okay, I'll stop that because that's not going to work. Got to do a whole screen share.
And when I wrote, like, I'm angry at Windows for that, they're shouting at me, what does it mean to you?
I mean...
Windows fanboys.
I mean, all right, that's cool.
Okay, one question. As an operating system developer, would you want to support every architecture possible, right?
No, not really. I mean, I know this goes contrary to your point, but I wouldn't. I would support the hardware that I know works really, really well, because otherwise you end up with what we have in Windows and Linux, where everybody's pissed off that their hardware doesn't work exactly right, you know, compared to the $3,000 laptop over here.
Okay,
but I mean,
no, it's not contrary. It was just a general question. I
Yeah.
needed your opinion on it. Because in Linux, what I have seen is they're aiming for every platform possible.
No, and that's admirable, but I think you're gonna, well, no, I don't think, I know, because I've seen it over and over and over again, that you're gonna run into a situation where people are very angry. I mean, think about the 32-bit thing. That most distributions have dropped that.
away.
And that there was a whole thing about that. People really upset that they can't run their 16-year-old desktop on the latest and greatest Manjaro or something. And there are distros for you that focus on you, but
Hello.
hey, Joe, I
Hi,
think
Joe.
I think
You're early.
that's the point, right? I mean, there is a niche distro in Linux for everything that anybody would want, just about. You hate systemd? Well, there's Dev1. Do you do you want 32-bit? Well, there's Debian. Do you want, what is it that you want? And there's
Okay,
likely a
look at
distro.
this. So, since they're dropping M1 support, how does it affect their own ARM chip powered devices like Surface?
I don't think it will. Those are still all Intel chips at the moment. I don't know if yeah, I don't.
The Surface Pro X is a different chip, I think.
I mean, they see, and that's why this is why I don't know that that's just going to be the same situation forever, because they do have ARM chips that are coming out. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Apple always wrote the Windows drivers, so I don't know why that would be a thing. Why they would not be able to support Windows on. Maybe Microsoft doesn't give it the seal of approval, but I bet you it'll work. If Linux can
Okay,
work,
so
Windows will work.
the Surface Pro X runs on a Qualcomm chip, Microsoft SQ2.
Mm-hmm.
So I see why wouldn't they support other ARM
I know there's
64?
one or two people run Windows on Mac, but most people that buy a Mac aren't particularly going to want to run Windows. They may need to for a couple of pieces of software, but surely they could do that in a virtual machine if they wanted to.
That's correct. I totally understand that.
Yeah. Or because they're spending $3,000 on a Mac, they can afford 700 for a cheap Intel laptop running Windows 10 or 11 to run.
I think that might be an
Agreed.
overstatement. I know if I ever bought a Mac, that would be the last thing I bought for a whole year.
Yeah.
Can't afford nothing anymore.
2 lakhs, that would be my total salary for a year.
Hey,
That's the
Clayton.
total starting salaries which fresher get out of college. 2.5 lakhs per year
Mm.
in India,
Oh,
which
man.
is the cost of the Mac in India. MacBook
Wow.
Pro.
Here's what I want. I want a framework. I want a framework laptop because I love the idea that I can replace everything. But I want it with an AMD chip instead of an Intel chip. That would be. I would stop buying anything and I would just buy that right now.
Yeah. Did I get that right, Nissan? That the
Doesn't-
cost of a Mac is a
Linus-
year's wages for you? Is that
Okay,
what
so
you
my
meant?
so my dad's friend, he had been running Windows and Mac OS side by side on his Intel Mac before he sold it.
Didn't Linus Tech Tips have a couple of recent episodes about a modular laptop?
Is that the framework? I think they did the framework
Yeah,
recently.
okay, the framework, yeah.
I mean, it's fantastic, dude. I want one so much.
Can somebody link me to that website so I can look at it?
Framework
Minus tech
laptop.
Let's go and find Linus.
Frame.work. I'll send you a link.
I'm now looking for a micro ATX PC so I can run just Linux on it and not change around too much on my work like personal laptop.
Look at this. You can see it on the live stream. This is it. I mean, you can buy one that doesn't have anything. Okay, you would need to spend an extra 20, 40, 50, 60 bucks. So it would need to be like 815 plus tax. But that's a full laptop that you can change anything out of. I mean, you can change the screen, you can change the bezel, you can change the keyboard, you can change the motherboard, you can change the hard drive, the RAM, the ports that are in the side of it. You can change those to be exactly in any configuration that you want.
Yeah, but some of the ports are more expensive than others.
Well, yeah, the video ports are 20 bucks and the connectivity ports are 10.
Okay, for electronics, add $300 more for just importing to India.
How much? How much more?
$300 import fees.
But you can buy it cheaper. You can get the DIY one, and I know it's more, but the DIY one, and then source all the parts from within India to avoid some of the import costs.
Oh, I can do one thing. I can have it send it to one of my relatives in New York then.
Hey, okay.
Okay, so
And
the
then-
DIY one is more expensive?
Less, because it also doesn't come with Windows. The DIY one starts at $749. I've gone through it.
Leo, did you start working at Red Hat?
No. I buy a lot of crap from like Linux and open source that I like to support. If they have a store, I'll buy from it.
I was wondering, looking at your T-shirt.
Yeah,
since
well,
when Leo
right.
joined Red Hat.
And I've got a pin and all kinds of junk.
That's without RAM too, though.
Yeah, $749. I know, but it matches the other one minus $100 if you put the same amount of RAM in it
Put
as
16 gig of RAM in.
the Novi Pro because you don't need it. 256.
RAM is cheaper over here. It's fine. 8 gigs at 5,000 Indian rupees.
There you go,
Crucial.
Joe. Right there. Because the other one you have to put the ports in too. So the other one starts at $999. DIY is $882.
So, you all, what kind of PCs are you running? Micro ATX, ATX?
I'm on the machine I'm on right now. I'm on a Lenovo M92P Tiny. So it's
In the garage, I have a micro ATX.
Oh, okay. What about study room setups with a study table if I want? So, micro ATX will be fine?
Oh, it should be.
Yeah.
I run a full ATX though, just for actually no real reason other than I can fit more RGB in it.
Yeah. Well, I have a micro ATX, but I have a box that, well, the tower for it will hold a full size, so it doesn't
Okay, so
save me any space.
I saw Dell Optiplex 3080 micro ATX, i3 Ubuntu Linux, 1 TB, 512 GB SSD for $598. In India, it translates to 40,000.
That's not bad.
That's actually cheaper
Yeah.
than it is here in the UK. Because the one here in the UK is lower spec. So when I looked at the website, they were quoting 8 gig of RAM and only a 256 M2 for about $30 more than yours.
I said the wrong model number. I have a M92, not a Tiny.
Going conservative on that laptop, putting it together, comes out to about $1,115.
What did you put in it? Because I mean, I
16 gigs of RAM.
right.
A gig hard or a terabyte hard drive. I didn't put the secondary storage in. I put 2 USB-Cs and an HDMI and a USB-A.
Yeah.
So compared to buying
27 and then 50 or 47.
compared to buying a PC, I'm getting my laptop upgraded for just 20,000.
Yeah,
rupees,
that's I
RAM
think
plus SSD.
if the laptop allows you to do it, I think that's the best way to do
Yes,
it.
it allows us like up to 2 TB of storage and 32 gigabytes of RAM.
Yeah, and that's why I liked my ThinkPad, because you could do that, and that's why I think I'm gonna like this even more. I doubt I'll get it anytime soon, but if they stick around, I'll probably buy one eventually. Instead of a ThinkPad, probably get one of these, because the DIYs are meant to come with no OS so that you can install Linux on them. That's the whole point.
I personally prefer without any OS, like DOS and laptops.
Well, if you look
I get a
here,
laptop.
it saves you $140 by doing that.
Do you know what? It's like $10,000 just for a Windows license in India. The one without Windows are cheaper by 10,000 if you look at comparable specifications.
So this is what I've got as a desktop back here. You can't really see it anymore, but yeah, like that. It's got Wi-Fi built in. This one has like 2 amps of power, so it'll power just about anything. It'll supercharge your phone, whatever you call that stuff.
PD.
M92 is common, I guess. Like even in hospitals, they have similar workstations. M90, M92.
Yeah, this is the M715. So I have a M92, but it's not the full tower, but like the skinny tower, I guess. I use that to run VMs on here in the house. But the fact that, I mean, it really is that it's as small as you expect. It's super tiny.
Oh, yesterday I picked up 5-slot RAID for $20.
Nice. That's cool.
So I'll be talking about that on the show.
All right.
And KVM review from the last 1 week. It's been okay. I'll
Are you
talk
going to be
about it.
on? Are you going to be on next week's show? Try and host,
On
I
Sunday.
Nishant.
I can try, but I may need to go through some things which are required, like Audacity and all that stuff which you use.
It's not hard. Just install Audacity.
I'm on Windows.
Audacity works on Windows.
You're fired.
No, because I have a space constraint, right? I can't like keep on changing between. I'm confused.
That's what
With the
USB
speaker.
sticks are for.
Ew. Recording a show off of a USB stick? That'd be
No,
scary.
no. Running the operating system off of the USB stick.
That's what I mean. If you're
Yeah.
running Mint off a
Ooh,
USB stick and
that's-
Audacity in there and recording, man, that gets
Ooh.
scary.
But
No.
Audacity runs on Windows, doesn't it?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry to have broken
Hey.
your
No,
faith,
Rick.
guys.
Actually, the perfect topic for me. I just installed Debian onto an external SSD and I'm running off of it.
Ah.
That's why I was late. I wanted to see if I can finish it before the show.
Oh, I see. Oh, Joe, so were you talking about installing on an external drive or like running live?
Running live.
Oh, see, no. No, what Norbert did, that's totally acceptable for a show. That's scary.
Oh no. Installing to the micro USB and using that as your
Oh.
hard drive for your operating
Oh, yeah,
system.
okay. That's totally
I have a
doable.
512 external hard drive.
There you go.
If that will work.
That'll work.
You could do that.
Well, it depends. What's the connection on it?
A USB 3.0.
You're fine.
That'd work.
Yeah, that should be fine. I've run it on USB 2 in the past. Before USB 3 became common, and it was sluggish in them days, but USB 3 since then it's fine.
Well, thank you for the idea, Joe. I'll give this a try.
Well, that's the cheap and easy way to do multi-boot.
Actually, the
But
way when I only had one internal SSD in the computer, I picked up it's a aluminum enclosure for M.2 SSDs. It's USB 3.1, I think, and I just plugged it in the front USB of the computer case, and it doesn't seem to run any slower than if it was running from an internal drive.
That's pretty cool.
Then I got
is
an
it
internal
the-
drive, and
There.
I have dedicated internal drives for Linux and Windows. But the only reason I just wanted to have an external, basically I wanted to have a portable distro, so I've been using it on multiple computers already, and I chose Debian because I came up with a really clever plan. So the word for pocket in Hungarian is zseb, so the host name is Zsebian instead of Debian.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah.
So the installation method is the same? Like how you install
Yeah,
normally?
you just point it to the correct drive that you want to install it on. Depending whether if you want to keep Grub on the main drive, just make sure you select that as the for Grub when it's installing, and you'll be fine.
You're not going to want to use your main hard drive for your grub if you're running Windows on your
I put-
laptop.
That's
or
probably
whatever.
true. Yeah, point Grub at the.
What you're going to need to do is put grub on the external and then set your computer to look at USB first. And then whenever you want to run Linux, you have the USB drive hooked up, and whenever you want to have Windows, you just don't hook up the USB drive.
Yeah, alternately, I would
could
say
just
use
put
UEFI.
refined.
What was that?
put refind on the main drive.
That would be an easy way to do it as well. My thought would be just install via UEFI and just put the EFI partition on the drive that the operating system's on. And when you unplug it, the BIOS will not detect that particular UEFI entry, so it just won't show it.
But Grub cannot see any bootload. So the Grub cannot see any distros that are on another drive, right?
It probably would, to be honest. If it's something
Yes, it can.
fairly mainstream like Debian, if you run updates, it'll install the kernel and then it'll it'll do that grub update thing, and it'll find other OSs. So, I mean, I guess that's where it gets kind of weird. If you have multiple Linuxes, you might have things in the list of your external drive when it boots that doesn't actually exist. Well, I mean, I guess it would if you're using the same computer every time, but
Okay, time to experiment, I think. And this is why we Linux people are more intelligent than Windows people.
we might know more
Now
about
I have a
grub.
counter argue.
That's what
I have a counter argument for my friend's point that they think that we are genius or something, and they laugh at me for that, for using Linux.
Yeah, Genius is
That's
way,
a-
That's a
way too
counter
much.
argument.
I know more about grub than they do, maybe. That's
There's
probably
a recurring meme about how Linux people know more about Windows than Windows people.
it. Because I've been in the
But no
registry enough to
problem.
break
Yeah,
it about
but-
12 times.
Have you ever tried to use PowerShell? You almost need a degree to actually get that to work right. So anybody that uses it,
You have to
I
go
mean, that's
into...
my.
You
I have
to,
used PowerShell to configure Office 365 instances.
You have to go into PowerShell thinking of it as a programming language rather than a scripting language or a like an equivalent to Bash. If you do that, then elements and variables and things like that seem to naturally come up. But I mean, if you're going into it as Bash, you're gonna hate it.
Anyway, we're getting off topic because we wanted the tutorial on how to set up the live stream, didn't we?
No, I specifically wrote in the description that there is no topic. So
No. I wasn't talking about
I know.
the show.
I'm just messing around.
On one final note regarding installing stuff on external drives, at this point I'm at the point where I have 4 EFI partitions. So one for Windows, one for Linux, one for the external drive, and one for my old SSD that I'm using for distro testing. So both in the Debian installer and in Ubiquiti, in the manual partitioning, you get the list of partitions. It checks every single EFI partition as EFI partition. So I have manually check and say do not use partition. Otherwise it will always put grub on the first in the list, which is my internal one. So I have to uncheck each one except the external one, and then is when it will put grub on the external EFI partition.
But that's really cool, though. I mean, I like it sounds easy. A little annoying when new stuff comes up, but I guess once you get it set up, it sounds really easy, though.
At this point, I'm also using Refind and everything. So when especially on my laptop, you have to use. I only realized this last year. You have to use a SIM card pin to access the BIOS at least in my Lenovo laptop.
Really?
So if I wanted to manually boot into the grab of my external SSD when I plug it in, I would need one of those. But if I have Refind on the internal drive, it just pops up in the Refind menu if I plug the external Debian drive in, so I can just boot it that way.
On my T450S, it's just enter. During the initial boot sequence, like when you see Lenovo across the screen, I just smack enter a bunch. That gets me into the settings, and then I don't have my laptop with me, but I think F12 maybe is the one to get you to the boot list, because that's how I do mine. I don't do Refind. I just do UEFI everything, and it shows up in that list. But yeah, it got me because I have 3 Lenovos now, one really old one, and it took me forever to figure out that it was enter, because Lenovo is so different. It's escape, F1, F2, F10, F12, and the delete key pretty much across the board, except for Lenovo, which they decided enter was the right button. I don't know
Does
why
it say at least?
So on the machine that I was learning this on, no, because fast boot was turned on, so you didn't even see the little Lenovo thing to tell you that. So I'm just smacking random keys, And eventually it shows up, and I'm like, all right, it's in this area of the keyboard. I'm going to do each key, and had to reboot and reboot and reboot and reboot. Eventually I figured out it was enter. And then, yeah, when you turn off fast boot, it's like, yeah, press enter to get into the BIOS. And yeah, of course.
Oh,
of
so
course.
all new laptops have fast boot, is it? The new generation laptops.
Most of them
Even
do.
I don't see it. Even I don't see press enter to enter BIOS
Yeah.
on my new laptop.
So with the new ones, you just have to know.
Yeah, you got to guess F10, escape, F2, delete. It's one of them.
Yeah. Well, it's delete and F12 for Dells, or maybe F1. I can't remember. I haven't been on a Dell in a long time.
For Dell, it is F12. For
okay.
Dell, Acer, it's F12.
And I want to say HPs are F1, and maybe delete as well. Yeah, Lenovo's are enter.
HP is delete most of the times
Uh-huh.
for the what do you call the boot selection menu. And
Tablets,
I
it's
haven't
usually volume down.
They should just bring back the any key. And you can
That
press
would
any
be
key to enter them.
that would be awesome. The any key. I need one. We could just make
Oh.
that the Windows key. Like, that'd be fine. I'll take that.
Super key. You don't call it the Windows key.
Why has it got a Windows logo on it?
Linux
Because-
key.
Because I can't source proper super key stickers.
That's true.
That's why.
I have an Ubuntu sticker on my Lenovo ThinkPad.
Oh, I call it the Linux key for all that matter.
That's it.
They're actually
Intellectual, as you say, call it the mod key.
yeah, the stickers that
There you
fit
go.
on those are actually hard to find.
I just got lucky
Or-
when the Ubuntu
Or what
store...
about changing the keycaps?
You can change the keycap too, depending on the keyboard that you have. But buying just one keycap is usually
You might as well buy the whole
somewhat
set.
expensive for what you get.
Yeah, just buy the whole
And-
set because the
well-
super key comes in there.
Finding one with a penguin on it isn't easy either.
Right.
That's right.
Might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't necessarily like to have X as a super key. I think it's at that scale. It's kind of a complicated graphic to have in such a small scale.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you can get one with Goku on it, which is cool.
Yeah. Does it have the hair coming off of the key though?
No, this one doesn't. It's not one of the 3D printed one. And then there's a Sharingan one, and that one is kind of shaped.
Oh, that
And then
one's
there's
cool.
a Zelda one, and that does
Mm.
come up.
Yeah, the sticker that I used, I was lucky enough to get them off the Ubuntu store before that closed down.
Ooh,
And
there's
it
a
was- I mean, it
Superman
was-
one.
It was tiny. I mean, it's perfect size. That's probably what they were printed for.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and they're hard to find.
Hmm.
I found very few places that are selling them. If you have extra, let me know.
What is
Talk
that?
about- I was going to
Leo,
say,
what is
talking
that
about
soft toy
Ubuntu.
next to the Mario statue?
What now?
That ghost-like thing behind you.
This thing?
Yes.
It's a domo, a Halloween domo. He's a skeleton guy, basically. Yeah.
Oh,
You also have two red hats on your screen.
I do. There.
why this reminds me of a open source character or something.
Maybe he can be one day. I don't know.
Talking about Ubuntu, what do you think of the news that the podcast is RIP?
Sad. Oh wait, you didn't see this because
Yeah.
Goku, right? Can you see him?
Uh,
kinda
Yeah,
washed
I
out.
can see Goku.
Mm.
That's not Goku.
Is that the
not Goku.
kid version of Goku?
There we go. Oh, there you go.
He looks different in this.
That's Krillin, man. I got him secondhand, so I didn't get the Spirit Bomb, or I don't know if it was a Spirit Bomb or a Destructo disc, but he was holding something.
Yeah, but if you buy one of these stylized keycaps, it's like $16, $17.
I wanted to have a Goku keycap. I would have his head be just white and the cutout of his hair transparent. And I would set my keyboard to only light up on the super key in yellow if I press it. So
That's
it will
cool.
go, he will go
That's
Super Saiyan whenever I press it.
That'd be awesome.
I have actually never seen Dragon Ball.
Oh, no, that's blasphemy.
You're not missing much.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Mm.
I have
Unless you like
seen-
episodes that are like 30 minutes of screaming where nothing actually happens.
I have
Then,
seen
yeah,
the
you're not
movie
missing much.
based on it.
Oh, there's a bunch.
The live action is probably what he's talking about when he says the
Yes.
movie.
Yes, live action movie, Evolution Z.
No, please no. That one doesn't
I
count.
know it's worst, but when I was a kid, I just used to randomly watch Dragon Ball episodes without understanding what is it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, like Joe said, I mean, they were probably screaming the whole time.
Screaming is a universal language.
Yeah, exactly, right? You didn't even need to translate that.
This reminds me, I have to try the new Dragon Ball Z game.
Well, if you want to watch Dragon Ball, 10, 15 years ago, somebody actually went through all the episodes and got rid of like 95% of all the power-up stuff and the filler stuff, and just the action, well, not just the action, but just the actual story was put
Yeah.
all together.
Mhm.
So there's
It was much shorter.
there's two options for that. There's a list of the episodes that you need to watch and the ones that you can skip if you have like all of the episodes. And then there's also Dragon Ball Z Kai, which
I think,
is
yeah.
that I mean that's official. That's I mean it was
Well, before they did Kai,
yeah.
somebody did it on their own on like YouTube
Oh, sure.
or something.
right.
Why
So
this
it's-
guy reminds me of Karate Kid.
Cobra Kai.
Exactly. Did you guys watch the Cobra Kai season 1, season 2?
I have not.
That's a series.
They're
That's a
up to
series
se- the-
continuing.
They're up to season 4 now. I think 4 is about to start.
Yes,
but-
that's the new series continuing the story from Karate Kid movies.
I haven't watched any of it yet. It is on my list of things to watch, but I haven't gotten to it.
I have watched all 3 seasons, now waiting for the 4th. It's good.
I'm actually right now I'm way behind on all my TV shows, but let me see.
I'm just recommending this because it continues the storyline from the movies.
Mm. It's been well over a decade since I've seen Karate Kid.
Or if you want to know how it unfolded, I suggest you watch the movies first, then you go for the series.
I would have to. I don't remember anything about it other than Mr. Miyagi, who was so cool.
Hold on.
Yeah, I like your shirt. Beer. Is that what that says on your shirt, Nishan? That says beer, right?
Yeah, it's beer.
I'll have
Well,
some
I'm like
of those later.
4 episodes behind on Titans, 4 episodes behind on Stargirl, 5
Titans
episodes.
is running which season right now?
Yeah.
Wait. This
Like
is
7 episodes in.
this is Robin and whatever, right?
Yes, Teen Titans.
Right.
Nightwing, Red Hood.
Yeah, me and my wife were watching it, but it stopped recently, and I guess it just now picked up.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm
7
excited.
episodes in.
I'm so excited. I really
But they
enjoyed
were-
that one.
Which season number are they on? I saw first.
This
2
is
seasons.
season 3.
Oh, it started.
Yeah. They released the first 3 episodes of the season all at once, and then they switched to a weekly. So it's
Why?
only been 5 weeks.
Wow, I'm behind. I gotta get caught up.
Is it on Netflix? Because I watched it.
No, it's
over there.
HBO Max.
Oh,
Didn't
they
DC have
shifted
its
it.
own
They shifted
streaming?
it to HBO
They-
Max.
It was on DC streaming, and then overseas, not in the US. It was on Netflix, but you could not get it on Netflix in the US because it was on DC streaming. So HBO bought DC streaming. So now Doom Patrol, Titans, Harley, all of the DC streaming shows are now on HBO Max exclusive.
Oh, okay, because I saw first 2 seasons on Netflix, Titans.
Oh wow,
That's why I remember.
they released on my birthday. How did I not know?
When was your
Did they-
birthday?
August 12th.
Is it a separate continuity from the DC movies? DCU?
No, it actually got tied into the DC movies when they were doing the multiverse stuff.
Mm.
Like all of the DC stuff, movies, TV shows, was all integrated by the
Crisis on
Yeah, the Crisis on Infinite Earths. So they actually showed all the characters from all of them on the TV show, including like Flash from the movie.
Oh yeah, Batman was in there somewhere. What?
And so was Keaton.
Oh, the classic Batman.
Yeah.
If I want to get into DC, where you suggest I start?
Joe,
I haven't
thanks
seen.
for reminding about the Flash. I'm like 5 seasons behind on Flash. Season 3.
I'm all caught up on Flash.
Last I saw 3rd season and then I left it because it was being repetitive.
It stays repetitive.
Right here, Norbert.
Should I just start with Titans and Doom Patrol, or should I watch the theatrical movies?
I'd say the movies are
honestly,
are a good
the DC
introduction
movie-
to
no.
individual.
Did
The
you guys
DC
watch
movies?
Zack
No.
Snyder's Justice League?
I haven't watched the Snyder Cut yet
The only one,
because it's
the
4
only
hours
one
of movie.
The only one of my friends who really likes the DC movies is the one who who is into the comics. Basically everyone else keeps saying that Batman v Superman was bad, and even the Snyder Cut was allegedly not very good. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
But Red
it's hard to get behind most of the DC movies, but like the first Wonder Woman's awesome, Aquaman is awesome. Definitely watch those two.
Yeah, Aquaman got a really bad rap. I thought it was a really good movie.
It was a really good movie.
It
I
is
don't
a
know
good movie.
why it got a bad rap, but what bad rap did it get? I didn't see any buzz on it.
Well, I mean, it has a Metascore of 55.
Oh, okay.
The only,
But
Don't go by Metascores.
No,
I don't
but-
believe in them.
but it generally encapsulates the critics' ideas of it, and I think that's what a lot of people use to decide what movies they're gonna watch, and these just don't show up most of the time.
So bad reputation can have 3 sources: fans of the source material, average people, and critics.
Well, they bashed the previous Justice League once the Snyder Cut came out.
yeah.
But Norbert,
Compared it.
what I did was I just watched all the movies from the very beginning, like in order of their timeline. So like there'd be Man of Steel, and then Dawn of Justice, and then Suicide Squad, and then Wonder Woman, and then all that. So
But for DC TV shows, definitely Titans, and definitely if you're tired of normal superhero stuff, watch Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol was the first one I considered, but then I heard that it was a spin-off of Titans, and I considered watching Titans, but
Basically, it's
They're disconnected
Titans
enough
with
that it
villain
doesn't matter.
fighting.
I remember seeing a few episodes of Teen Titans back in the day on TV, which also didn't get its final season, I think. So one thing that is DC and has been on my list for a long time is the Batman the animated series. Has anyone seen that?
I've seen some of it, but I caught
Parts
it.
of it, yeah.
Just bits.
Is
and
it as
pieces.
good? I
It
heard
is.
I heard it has the best version of Joker.
Basically, anything from the DC animated is really good. I mean, they got the market cornered on the whole animated. There are a couple of the movies which are really terrible, like the Batman Samurai one. That one was garbage.
Joe, have you seen the Harley Quinn animated series?
I've seen portions of that. I haven't sat down and watched it
Yeah,
yet.
it is as rated R as you get. So if you do go watch Harley Quinn, be prepared for that.
Don't
Is
watch
it
it
also-
with the kids.
Does it also share a universe with other
NSFW.
series?
Alert. NSFW alert.
Yeah, very much so. So the animation betrays the NSFW of it. Because you go into it thinking, oh, cool, this is something that would come off of Cartoon Network or something like that. It is not at all. So, yeah, just know that before going into it. It's a really good show.
Was the character of Harley Quinn made to be like R-rated or something?
No, I don't think.
on
I
the
mean, she's the same as anywhere, but I mean, when you see the dark and gritty DC movies, you kind of expect there to be that kind of language and, violence and things like that.
Suicide Squad. I saw that movie. I thought Harley Quinn is like not R-rated, but in the movie also they were like completely making her use bad words.
Yeah, well, I think they go for the PG-13, don't they? So that way they can
Yes.
get it in front of more people than just being straight rated R or whatever.
Think about it. a lot
Thankfully,
of
they
people-
didn't try to do that to Deadpool.
Oh, I'm glad. Well, that would just break Deadpool. That's not what Deadpool is.
Well, they did try and make a version of Deadpool that was PG-13
What a
that they
waste.
released after the R-rated one.
That he was
So they,
very
like,
aware of it.
Yeah, they cut out the various, horrible bits and replaced them
Well,
with.
okay. So if he's aware of it and he breaks the fourth wall to, gonna give you looks and things like that, okay, that might make it okay.
Okay, so this means there are two versions of Deadpool movie we can watch.
The second one.
No, I mean like R-rated and PG-13.
Yeah,
guess
the
so.
second one. They didn't do that with the first one. The first one just had the R-rated one. Deadpool 2 had the R-rated and the PG-13.
Okay.
Wait, did they release the whole movie as PG?
PG-13.
Wasn't that just wasn't that just a Christmas special that was PG?
Let me check.
Yeah, you got us both looking.
So I thought they did like the first full one, but no, I see that they did a trailer for it. Is there Once Upon a Deadpool in theaters nationwide Wednesday is the PG-13 re-edit of the critically acclaimed R-rated Deadpool 2. The updated film, which incorporates previously deleted scenes, a new Princess Bride storytelling framework, and additional post-credit scenes, is really for fanboys.
That's cool.
So yes, they did make and release a PG-13 cut that was in theaters.
That's cool.
I can't imagine Deadpool being so funny without like profanity.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. For a lot of it, really.
Like I saw the trailer, like he's so funny. But once I saw the PG-13 trailer, I didn't find like he looked more funnier in the normal trailer, like the R-rated one, than compared to the PG-13. Okay.
Sometimes censored swearing. I don't know if there was any censorship, but sometimes censored swearing can be funnier than regular swearing. In a scene or podcast
Okay.
or
So regarding
or event.
Justice League, what led to the release of why didn't they release Zack Snyder's story first?
Because they
Because,
fired Snyder.
Didn't he have to step down himself?
Sort of.
Because
he
of
got forced out of the
family.
position because of like old tweets or something. I don't remember.
I
Oh,
don't like
that was
JJ
James Gunn.
Oh, yeah, with Guardians of the Galaxy.
And now he got to make that and the new Suicide Squad as well.
JJ
Because
Abrams. I don't
So,
like him at all.
James Gunn, who Disney fired him from making the Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and then DC hired him. Basically, they said he can make anything he wants, and he said he wants to remake Suicide Squad.
They pulled him back for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because basically the entire cast of Guardians of the Galaxy said, yeah, we're not going to do this without James Gunn, so...
But so enough time has passed then since the drama that everything settled down, so basically nobody even cared that he was rehired.
Yeah. I think the studios cared, and that was about it.
One thing about DC movies, I think a lot of people have been complaining about them being too grim and too dark, but maybe DC should just switch to all their movies and shows being R-rated. If Harley Quinn is the Harley Quinn series in a shared universe with any Maida?
Well, it's animated, so no. But no, I agree with you. We need a dark and gritty DC to be a counterpoint to the upbeat, happy Marvel.
Isn't that basically just The Boys? The series called The Boys?
There is a series called The Boys, and that is dark, and that is gritty, and that is ugly, but it's also, a bit slapstick.
What
Also
about
Invincible.
Injustice? Injustice plotline of the comics.
Okay, I
They
have
can
to
bring that
remember this
into
one.
movie.
They could, and they've done they're doing an animated version of it, if I remember right, of Injustice right now, and that's the one where Joker gets Superman to kill a pregnant Lois Lane and take over the world.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
I have played both the games, so I know a bit about that plotline.
Okay, yeah, like I said, I think they're doing a movie on that right now. They did What, Superman Red Sun, and that was pretty cool. I mean, it wasn't terrible.
But it shows a different Superman compared to being on American side. He's on the Russian side, if
Yeah,
I'm not wrong.
right.
Okay. Okay, Leo, you can continue with your masterclass on streaming.
I don't know about masterclass, but let's see.
Do I have OBS installed on this machine? Nope. Let's fix that real quick.
What am I doing?
Oh, Joe, that's a nice red touch on your mic.
Oh, thank you.
Is that customizable?
No, not this one. This is the HyperX. The next version that came out after it, the Hyper S, that one was customizable. This is just red.
Oh, which company or brand is it?
Oh gosh.
No, because I know HyperX is a model of a RAM as well, so that's why I asked.
HyperX gaming headsets. HyperX is the
Oh, HyperX is the company
Yeah,
which
Kingston.
makes RAM as well, right?
yeah,
If I
Kingston.
remember correctly.
Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
I don't know about a masterclass, but
Dang it, I was installing something and you got me sidetracked.
OBS, man.
OBS.
So do we all have to flash up OBS?
You can if you want. I don't. Yeah, there's really.
I wouldn't mind if I had some backup just in case. Because, yeah, I have been on every show so far for the last however many years we've been doing this. But,
Yeah,
you
a
know,
lot.
who knows what comes up.
Yeah.
Yay!
There's been some close calls, and a couple of times I've had to do things like, you know, set up in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I've got the infinity screen going.
Yeah. So
Okay, what is infinity screen? Sorry to ask.
so like look at the. Well, I guess if you're looking at the live stream, it's you know when you're doing a video of 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 a video. It goes all the way in,
Evidently,
over and over and over
I
again.
had OBS set up on this in the past. Because I can see, like, a setup here.
Ah.
Like, I can see that my input camera, my,
Wait a second.
I have the image set up, and audio output capture. All right, one of you guys say something so I can see if it's catching your voice or not.
Say something.
Oh, yeah, it's catching it.
Hello.
Okay. But I do have to change
There.
that.
Y'all
So
can
let me
see the
remove
screen
that.
now. If you in Discord, if you're in Discord, if you actually want to see this, you can see the screen now.
I was just watching on the screen.
Are you doing a screen capture?
Well, I'm streaming it to YouTube as well
Yeah.
as on Discord. It's going as well.
Okay, mind if I take a screenshot?
That's fine. I mean, it's going to be on YouTube, so you can always go back and
No,
watch.
I have to share it among other communities.
Sure,
If that's okay. If that's okay with you.
doesn't matter to me. We're on the internet. It's all public.
No, most of them won't know, right? What is mintCast? If I
Oh,
ca-
right, for sure. So, yeah, I don't know. I've got a bunch of different things, but all right. So,
OBS Masterclass Rule 1, don't use Wayland.
yeah. So Wayland support is getting better. I think they're probably pretty close to being done, but it's not 100% yet. So
Okay,
yeah.
so let me go back to Discord here.
Fedora, screen sharing, screencasting on OBS works on Wayland.
Oh, cool.
But it uses some sort of external thing because there's a screencasting icon appearing on the display that you choose.
Oh, that's
So
cool,
maybe that's because of the specific Wayland integrations in Fedora.
though. Right. Yeah, it could be. It could be. What is that?
Do any of you use Wayland on any of your devices?
No.
No, not normally. No.
I did for a little while when I had Fedora, but not recently. Dang it, you just closed it out. I was gonna start asking stupid questions.
Well, it's so I mean I'm on Wi-Fi, so I brought it down to 720p. Maybe that'll whatever.
So how do you get that so that you're just on the right?
Okay, so hold on. Let's start number one with audio because video without audio is kind of terrible. So
Okay.
you'll need 2 bits. Well, I guess let's start with the scenes. So YouTube won't see anything anymore, but you just create scenes. So these are basically
I haven't worked with scene before. So,
right.
yeah.
So scenes are basically if you have multiple setups. So if you want like the people on the right-hand side or on the left-hand side or on the top or the bottom or whatever, it'll remember where things were and put them back. So you can slip between the two. So if you have like a waiting screen where you just want like an animated waiting screen or something like that until the stream actually gets started, that would be one scene. And then your second scene would be, this essentially, our desktop. So you can see what's going on and everything. So
all right.
you can set up as many of those as you want to. I really only use one. And in that scene, so inside the scene are all of your sources. And start with audio because that's something that you can see really easy over here on the right-hand side with the audio mixer. So y'all's noise is desktop audio right here. And my noise is audio input capture pulse audio. So really what you'll do is come down to sources, hit plus, find that audio input capture pulse audio. And if you've already added it before, it'll be here. Otherwise, create new.
Okay, hold on. No, I
Find your
have
device.
audio input capture and audio output capture.
Right, you want
So-
input because we're talking your mic.
Right. And then audio capture device.
What now?
No. Okay. So
Oh, so
walk me through it
this
again.
would be a separate device on ALSA or something
Okay.
like that. But
Okay.
audio input capture, I mean, most every distribution uses pulse audio, so this will be what you want to choose.
Right.
So click on
I
that,
have that.
create new, and then this is going to keep creating them. You'll come in and choose the audio input. So I have, microphone on my camera right here. I've got my actual microphone and, you'll see everything. So choose your actual microphone. Don't let it go to default because that will let your operating system control it. And if you're not 100% paying attention to your operating system every single time you turn it on, it might switch on you. So make sure
Okay. Yeah. This one automatically switched to. Okay, so it is set to default. Let me make sure it's on the HyperX Quadcast.
And every
All
single
right.
one of those I make are actually, hold on.
And then let me see properties on the audio input. That should be default.
No, the actual device needs to be the device.
No, okay. I'm saying for the second one, everybody else's audio.
Oh, desktop audio?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, you want it to be whatever your audio is set to in everything else. So I always want my audio coming through here. And
Okay, so I always use my ThinkPad dock, so I just set it to that.
Yeah, wherever you're listening to your audio, you want to match that up with desktop audio here.
Okay,
So-
okay.
So audio input
And
capture is
I
you.
set that, and all of a sudden I'm getting crackling and popping in the background. It's all your fault, Leo.
Hey, listen, man. Buy a ThinkPad M715Q.
I'll stick with my MSI GE72.
All right. But, enjoy the crackling. So that's it. That's audio. So input capture, make sure it's your mic, the actual mic you want to use. And desktop
got it
audio,
set.
match it with whatever you're listening to, however you're hearing everybody. And this little eye right here, if I needed to mute you guys on the stream, I would close this eye. And then
Okay.
Yep. All right. So video capture device. This is this is how I did it the last time. So because nobody had their video on, or that I remember, video capture device is just my camera. But the downside to this is you can only use one camera in one place. So Discord, I'm already using it, so it shows up blank here. I cannot pipe it through OBS.
Okay, so I'm not going to add that one. Right now, all I have is the 2 audios and a screen capture.
Yeah. So if you want your camera isolated, this is how you'll do it. Then really the rest of it is this. So you either choose screen capture for the whole entire thing, which is what I'm doing now, or let me show you. So turn that off and then turn on the individual bits that you want. So this is obviously the y'all, all the video and everything. Oh no, Norbert's not on the screen. Norbert, come back.
Well, how
There you
do you get just that?
I don't have a webcam, so
That's fine. That's fine. Hit plus, window capture, X composite, and then create new, and then you'll get a list of all of the windows that you have open.
Okay.
And that's really
But
it. Choose
how
it.
do you get it to show up just like that? Is it just a matter of taking Discord over to one side?
Oh, look. So when you add it, so I'm not there yet, Joe. You keep jumping ahead, man. This is a
I
master
like
class.
jumping
Let
ahead.
the master do what the master does, okay? So check it out. So when you add one, let's say, oh yeah, I've got GIMP open. I was doing some gimpy things earlier. So I'm gonna turn
Hello, Josh.
off. Okay, what y'all are seeing is not what we'll be seeing. What will be seen in YouTube. So you got to be careful with this one. So hang on, let me see.
We're seeing an inversion.
Actually, you're seeing weird icons on the screen too. I think OBS broke. Let me see.
Probably. You can blame
I
that on
think
me if
that's
you want.
the overlay for Discord.
No, it's not. I think what I did. Oh, it's that.
Your overall size.
Oh, I
is-
chose the desktop. That's why. I forget that doesn't delete.
Oh no! I think what I did. Oh,
Uh-oh.
oh, it's that.
Somebody's got feedback.
Oh, I chose
Turn
that.
off YouTube.
There we go.
Oh, no.
I muted you. I think that's you, Clayton. I muted you for a sec. We're getting a lot of feedback. I think you can unmute yourself, but sort that first. All right. So, okay. So I added this. That's why. So yeah, I guess the moment you click this, it adds it to your screen. So you've got to be careful with because yeah, look at that. It's already there. So I'll need to choose. I wanted this. So in OBS, you can see when you're highlighted on the window capture that you want, you can move it around the screen. It doesn't actually move it on your screen itself. My GIMP is in the same spot on my desktop, but on the stream itself, it's everywhere, right? You know, I'm pulling it all over the place.
Okay, so
And then
okay, I should
Discord
have
is a
some
pop
type
out.
of-
I think the feedback stopped.
Yeah, I muted him for a minute. But yeah, like in Discord, let me see. In Discord, you can do video chat a couple different ways, but you'll see like the one window with the person that's talking highlighted, or you can just click right here on the channel, the voice and video channel that you're on,
Mhm.
and then there will be a little icon, little dots or whatever to pop out, or a little icon to pop out. So I get this window by itself. So this window right here is the Discord video pop out.
Hold on, I'm looking for the pop out. What? Show me again how you found it.
Hold on. There we go. That works. Let me see. I keep closing that window. In Discord, when you click on this, oh, there it is, right here. It's bottom right. So this will pop in, but
Pop out. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
and then so you'll share the new pop out window in OBS. You'll do a window capture of the pop out.
Okay, my problem is that okay, I need to remove this one.
Oh, that was the browser. And then, you know, you can hide and show it as you need. Easy peasy.
Simply change it. mintCast general. Okay. And then slide that over to the right.
And you can really put it wherever you want to. It doesn't really matter if it's on the right, left, top, bottom, whatever.
Okay, but okay, I guess I'm in the wrong view on it. Let me switch this to grid view.
And you kind of have to tinker with it, the Discord window, because if take a look at the Discord screen or the OBS screen, when I'm pulling it out like that, it'll do all kinds of weird things.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting right now.
Yeah, you got to be careful with it. No. There, that's what I mean.
Is there like a Discord plugin for OBS where can you only share a window that you have open, or would it be possible to just tell Discord to cast the
A
webcam?
minimized window or something?
Or just generate an input for OBS with all of the webcam inputs or the profile pictures and have them light up when people speak, and while not having to have a window, a Discord pop-up open that can be cast to OBS.
I guess you can. You don't need a
No.
plugin for it. You're talking about like the chats or something?
Not the chat, but just have an input in OBS where you can see everyone, the webcam pictures, and without actually having to have a window open, a Discord window open when you yourself can see the pictures.
Oh, so there is a plugin. You're telling me there is a plugin.
I'm asking whether there is something like this.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I'm a simple man. I don't
All right.
really go too far with most anything.
Now I'm showing what I'm sharing. Or well, I shared my screen so that you guys can.
In Discord, right?
Yeah.
All right. So when I do a watch stream, it kind of breaks everything, but we're gonna look at your screen for a sec.
For a moment, I thought since when Joe started using Windows,
No, I don't think so.
the Linux Mint layout.
But
So
speaking
that's
of,
what I have for my current settings.
that's cool. Wait, what is? I don't see anything. I see a browser and a
I'm
terminal.
sharing my screen. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. That's why.
Agents
Hold
of
on, give me a second.
Romance.
Where's that?
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah. That's good.
that's the HyperX page. One of the ads there. Yeah, that's the settings that I have.
Yeah, and instead of your desktop, which is what I assume that is, I'll share like the Firefox window, so I can click on the links and things that we're doing at the time.
Nobody even recognizes Cowboy Bebop. Horrible people.
Yeah, the live action movie's coming out soon though.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought this was from a video game or something.
I don't think there are.
Hey,
there
Josh.
might be some Cowboy Bebop video games, but none of them were good enough for me to actually know what the hell they are.
No, I meant to say that it looked like it's from a Star Wars or Star Trek game.
If you've never watched the animated Cowboy Bebop, I highly recommend.
One of the
Yeah.
rare cases when even the original creators say that the English dub is sort of better than the original Japanese.
I mean, I think the English dub was really good. I prefer watching it in English for sure, because of it. It's really good.
It
But
really
my-
fits the atmosphere and the theme of it.
Some of my friends say that if you want to learn the language, you should watch it in that language. In this case, Japanese.
But since it's supposed to be a Western, and the voice actors really fit that sort of genre. The English ones.
It's supposed to be an amalgamation of genres, essentially.
Supposed to be like, has anyone seen Firefly?
Yeah, I think I've seen it a couple of times. But yeah, well, you have to. You can't say that Cowboy Bebop is like Firefly. You have to say that Firefly is like Cowboy Bebop.
I've seen Bebop first.
Yeah,
2 years
because
ago, and 2 years ago I watched Firefly.
Cowboy Bebop came out way before Firefly did.
All right, so
If I remember right.
on
I might
audio.
be hallucinating.
Must have been space westerns before those.
Back to the topic.
I wanted to show y'all one more thing on audio, and then everything else is personal preference. So, audio, that's me right here. Oh wait, y'all can't see that on the live stream. Hang on. There we go.
You can unmute yourself.
Me?
No.
Oh, Clayton. Yeah, if I muted you, Clayton, because there was a lot of background noise. But you can unmute yourself. So anyway, so what? So you're looking at right here, audio input capture, pulse audio, right? That's you. My particular microphone is not loud because I do a lot of post, and I want as little of the junk that gets caught in the mic to actually come through in a recording. So normally I float around -25, but anybody listening on YouTube, that's way too low. So what you want to do is come in here, hit advanced, click the little cog of your audio input capture, advanced audio properties, and then you can, well, with any of them really, you can come in here and add volume to it. So I add 10, and if you look, that puts me, most of my speech is about -10, which is close enough to good. -5 is probably best. Just touching the red is probably a good spot. And then you kind of want to play with it, but you'd never want to touch zero.
Mine is only showing like -3, and it's never really getting up to that red. So I guess I need to make that adjustment.
Well, also what you need to do, Joe, because sometimes when I'll get audio, like you're peaking, but it's not hitting 0. So the microphone's peaking, but the software is not. So you got to use Audacity to find out where the perfect level is, and then come into OBS, and then just crank it up using this right here.
All right, hold
software
on.
volume. But you want
I
the
can't be
hardware
everywhere
volume.
at once.
Yeah, you want the hardware volume, whatever it is, to never peak, and then you can mess with it and essentially post right here.
Okay, so well, I got it way turned down, and it's currently sitting at 0.
Oh, also, if you have a good mic, those mics only record in mono. But if you, well, no, because that's a USB mic, so it'll come in as stereo. So that for you, Joe, this checkbox doesn't matter. But if you've got an XLR something or other, it's only recording in one channel, and OBS expects it. Look at this. There's two meters. It expects there to be a left and a right channel.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if you do not check this box and you have a microphone like this, XLR style, you'll only hear it out of one ear. So you've got to be careful. And, to be honest with you, it's not a bad idea to just push that anyway, and then you're good.
Well, like I said, I can't. Okay.
But you're fine, Joe. Your mic is it's a mono mic, but
USB,
it records as stereo. So
right.
It's faking it. And then
well, that would explain not why I have 2 different green bars going up to 2 different levels.
Yep. So
you also get is double the file size.
What's that?
Do you also get double the file size if you record a mono but save it as stereo?
No, you shouldn't. I don't think so. Actually, that's a good question. I don't know.
In Audacity, when you
Tick.
have a mono mic but you set the input to stereo, there are 2 channels, but does it just save it twice and you get double the file size?
Basically, that's what I would assume it does. Well, you know what? Okay, I might break something, but I'm going to turn on Audacity so we can see. Y'all might be able
if
to
you're
see
on
this.
Windows, they can also see you.
Right. So if I do stereo recording, yeah, look. So it'll only record one. It'll only record one channel. The other channel will be empty. So that's why I set it to mono. That way, there's only one channel. I only ever have to worry about one. But I guess I could try to record something and see what happens, I guess. Anyway, desktop audio, this is y'all. Any of the sound that happens on my desktop, this is y'all. Normally I do not have to turn you guys up. Usually you're right about here by yourselves. Sometimes I have to turn you down. But today, for some reason, everybody's a little low.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm hitting into my yellow for mine.
Mm-hmm.
I see you're like pegging right at the red, but everybody else is kind of getting into the green and yellow.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I have to turn up my local volume because that would suck.
No. This has nothing to do with that. Whatever comes out on your desktop, goes into OBS as 100%. You're meant to control it with this right here. So if it's too loud, bring it down. If it's not loud enough, bring it up.
So when I speak, it's going into the yellow now, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
You were
a
hitting
little
about
bit into
negative
the
10.
yellow.
So I could probably punch this up another 2 dB, and it would be good.
Oh, right. Cool.
Oh, you have that set to like 10 dB.
So
negative 10 dB.
yeah. So if you ever do a recording on a
Test.
mono mic and it only comes out of one speaker, this is the reason. This checkbox right here, and then everything else is just make sure your audio is touching the red, but not all the way to 0.
Test.
Yeah,
All right, Leo, do what you're good at and keep talking.
Okay. Yeah, take a look at that. I almost yelled,
Test.
and it gets to about 3 or 4, which is
Test.
good.
A little lower for mine, so about a 6 for mine instead of the 10.
That's good.
And for yours, desktop audio, let's see. Yeah, don't do that again.
Don't do what again?
Cough.
Oh, that'll peak you. Oh, look, I hit -1. Ooh, I'm getting close.
Yeah, that's why you hot mute.
Oh, I do have a key for that now. Cinnamon in the latest version has added the ability
Test.
to assign a hotkey to mute the mic. They had mute the sound, but not mute the mic. But now they have mute the mic. So
Yeah, well, they have since not this last release, but the release before, because we've talked about it a couple of times where you could go in there and manually set it up because
Yeah.
it was all ready to go. And
yeah,
we-
Mate had it. XFCE I think had it, but Cinnamon never had it. I just used the key on my Lenovo. There's a physical hotkey on my Lenovo to do that.
well, I always made my own hotkey, and I showed you
never
guys
worked.
how, and I know Moss was.
It
for a
never
while.
worked for me. I tried it so
Well,
many
you
times.
gotta. The only thing that would have been different would have been you have to manually set the input source.
Right. And I mean, I swear I tried every single thing that was in the list, but it just never worked. I don't know why. I feel like I'm a pretty adept technical individual, but
I agree with you.
Never did.
You're not technically inept.
technically, right? Yeah. All right. So, all right, that's it for like sources and stuff. I mean, there's obviously more stuff. You can add plugins. Usually when I would do, I guess back in the day when we were doing just the audio, I had a visualizer. You can download that. And
I was still set up for. I was still set up for when we were broadcasting just the logo.
Oh, right.
If that tells you how long ago I was set up for our broadcasting to YouTube.
And so you can do stuff like this if you want, I guess.
Is there a platform for only streaming audio?
What's that?
Could be. Okay, is there a platform?
There is. Joe, what did we used to use?
Oh gosh, we had a weird setup for it because at the time we had just set up for YouTube, but we had also set up for something else. So we were using OBS Studio and some other.
Well, we were
tool. I
still
can't
using
remember.
Mumble at the time, weren't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mumble
Yeah.
was an easy way, I guess, but no, it was like IDJC or something like that, and
Yeah.
then we moved that to we passed that on to an IceCast that someone was
IceCast.
running on a Pi for us. Yeah, IceCast, and then people have to use like VLC or something to get a connection to it so they can listen. So there are platforms there for that, but I think I don't know. I guess with the advent of live streaming, I think everything has kind of gone to video as well.
So you've talked about the setup. What about the actual getting OBS to stream it to YouTube?
Yeah, Londoner said IceCast.
Okay, I can guide you through that.
I can guide me through that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, it depends on where you're trying to. If you're trying to stream to Odyssey or Library, or not Library, Twitch or YouTube, they're all different. So in YouTube, really all you
I know about YouTube because I streamed on YouTube many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. Well, you were on that stream that I did to YouTube on my other computer, so
You
I
just
have the
click-
setup out there for it.
You click go live, but it's the stupidest button ever because when you click go live, you don't go live. You actually schedule a live stream. So going live, it's that button should change. But anyway, you click on that, Do 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 do.
And then you take a key, stream key, and then put it into OBS.
Yeah. Right.
Set up your account.
That's the most important bit. So go through that. I mean, it's pretty
No.
self-explanatory. You schedule it whenever you want to, but the thing that you need to pull out of that is the stream key, and it looks
Does
like
the
a password.
Does the key stay the same every time, or does it change every time?
You decide. It.
Okay.
I have it set to where we have 2 separate stream keys, one for mintCast and one for this.
Okay.
So if you're going to do both, you'll have to swap back and forth between them, but you can go in and change that to where it's the same stream key the whole time. So, you know, it's up to you. It doesn't matter. But anyway, so in OBS, what that's going to look like is go to settings.
It is called the RTMP key, I believe.
Right.
Something
So
starting
leave
with
it
R.
leave it set to YouTube RTMPS. I pretty much
Hold
always
on.
go with the primary YouTube ingest server.
I'm lost. You
There-
got me lost.
Settings and stream.
Slow down,
looking
Leo.
for
You're
settings.
going
Where's
at 100
settings?
miles per hour.
On the right-hand side, bottom right-hand side of OBS.
That's because I'm not looking at OBS, because I'm looking at the live stream so I can see what you're doing.
Yeah, I think you can go to file settings as well.
Joe, how many monitors are you running today?
2. File, settings,
Too many, apparently.
stream. Yeah, this is set up for a TMP server, which is interesting.
I mean, you just choose YouTube. I think by default it's Twitch. But
Well, no, because it was set up for a specific
Oh,
address.
I
So
gotcha.
we had it set up to.
yeah. So under service, just make sure you're choosing the correct service because there's a few in there. I can't mess with mine right now because I'm actually live streaming.
And I'm not logged into the right account on YouTube to pull the key.
Right. So, I mean, you don't really have to worry too much about it because literally all you do is paste the key. That's all you do here.
Yeah.
So in my case, YouTube RTMPS, primary YouTube, there's a secondary in there as well. There's also an option to manually input it. So if for some reason neither of the two are working, you can manually put it in. And then the stream key, yeah, don't start trying to brute force anything. This is cheesed. There are more dots here than there are password like characters. So yeah, whatever. Anyway, so you paste it in there and hit apply. Then come down here to output. YouTube wants 4,500 kilobits per second, which is not the default. I think it's 2,500 or 2,300 or something. So YouTube will complain unless you make it at least this. Audio bitrate's up to you, but the higher you go, the more bandwidth you're going to need.
Too small. 4,500. I'm set to like 2,500, but that's because we were doing just audio at the time.
Yeah. Cinnamon's, what is it? Like display plussing? What do you call that? Make things bigger is terrible. So yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with that.
Scaling?
Scaling, that's the word. Yep, that. So anyway,
Okay, your encoder is set to software. Mine is set to hardware in
That's-
the ENC.
that's cool. I mean, basically,
Because, I'm running an NVIDIA and you suck.
hey, it's fine with me. The live stream has worked for a long time. So
Okay.
anyway, the CPU handles it, essentially, is what this means. And so if you've got hardware InVenc or whatever, that's fine. You can use that too. Anyway, audio bitrate, 160 is fine. Honestly, it's going to depend, right? Your microphone might actually respect that. But remember that Discord, by default, will do audio at 96K. So if you want everything to be in the same quality, choose 96K. Unless you pay for it, in which case Discord will let you do 128. So you can choose one of those two options, and that'll essentially make everything sound the same. But I leave it. No one's complained. So you can also do recording as well, which is what I do for like terminal tricks and stuff. Oh, so I wonder if I need to go in there and try it out. Dan says I can use VW API. That'd be kind of cool. And since I've got an AMD chip, maybe that's it. So we'll see how that goes.
What version of OBS are you on, Leo?
Latest and greatest, baby. 27.0.1. If you are using the Flatpak or the Flatpak version, it's pretty much impossible to get plugins. So unless you are fine with the defaults, Flatpak is good if you're fine with the defaults, bad if you want to add something. The Snap has a ton of them in there. I don't think you can add any more, though. but I do mine through the PPA because that is the OBS recommended way to handle it on Ubuntu-based systems, and I can just do plugins like normal. Anyway, so in video, this is the last important bit. You've got some real choices to make here. Base canvas and output scaled resolution. By default, it's 1080p base, 720 scaled. That looks terrible. Absolutely terrible. Whatever you choose, match it. That way, there isn't any kind of weird scaling or blurry or anything like that. So if you're doing a 720p stream, 720 here, 720 here, 1080p, 1080p, 4K, 4K, whatever you're doing, just make sure it's not scaled. I leave the downscale filter alone. I haven't had any issues with it. And then common FPS values. This is the thing that will eat your bandwidth lunch. 30 is pretty standard. Unless for some reason you want really smooth desktop, whatever, you can set it to 60. But be aware, double the frames means double the bandwidth. So just know that. You better
I'll leave it at 30.
Yeah, I mean,
or drop
30,
it to 16.
30's fine. I mean, what do we do on the show? We scroll a page. So 30's
What
fine.
if I'm running a game at full HD resolution, 60 hertz?
So that'd be 720p at 60 hertz? Oh, wait, full HD. So
1080p.
1080p at 60. I mean, you would need to 1080, 60.
Okay.
I mean, you
so
can
that is-
still choose to only capture at 30.
Correct. But it won't be as smooth as you might think it would be in OBS. But also remember that if your CPU can't handle both the game and the streaming, it's going to be chunky no matter, on your
it
game
can
and
handle.
on the stream.
I have tested it actually. I'm talking about my new laptop with NVIDIA.
Yeah, so I mean, but remember, if you're doing what Joe was mentioning and using Invenc or whatever to do the encoding for you, then you're not getting 100% of your video card dedicated to gaming. You're doing like a 70-30 split, So be aware, play with it, stick at 30 until you know it'll handle it, and then go to 60 and see if it works.
Okay, sure.
And
Basically, I use NVIDIA's GeForce Experience to record games.
Oh, that's right. You're in
at
Windows.
60
So, yeah, it'll be fine no matter how you do it. But I think really the best thing you can do is just, instead of streaming, do a recording and see if the recording is what you expect. And if it is, then you're good.
Okay, I'll share one video link which I recorded using OBS. It's a flight sim.
Okay.
All right, so who's all planning on being on the show next Sunday?
I should be here.
Yo.
I am.
Hey,
If I get the external HD thing working.
Is this an audition?
Do you want it to be?
Audition.
Ooh.
No, we don't do auditions. We do battle royales. The three of you are going to enter a ring, and the last one standing gets to be a new host.
And then the other two get to be hosts anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
No,
My money is on Josh.
So if you were here for the live stream, you probably know this, but if you weren't, I think Owen didn't put that bit in the end of the show, but I've got 2 more shows before I'm stepping down as the host. So right now is a really good time to come on the show and see if you'd like to do it.
Yeah, basically, it's me and Tony are
Correct.
the only ones that are showing up with any kind of regularity.
Yep. So I will be.
And Leo
I
at the
think-
moment.
Yeah,
Josh
right.
is still around. Well, yeah, but Leo's going to be dropping
Yeah.
into
Yeah,
shows,
on
which is why I'm saying the way
370,
that.
I will not. Right? Is that it? No, 372.
No,
Next one's
370 is the
370.
next show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'll be there for 370 and 371, but I will not be there for 372, and it will be irregular after that. But
We're gonna have to have Tony talk to Joe Rez though, because he needs to be on for 373.
no, he can't. He can't. Well, wait. If Joe Rest comes on, then I'll have to be there for sure. That way he can't beat me, right? Because we'll be
I'm
tied
pretty
right when I
sure
quit.
Joe has another commitment on a Sunday night, but
He'll never win.
He'll send a recording.
It's okay.
It's
It's
a rough
okay.
time for Linux podcasting with Ubuntu podcast going under.
I
as well.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
I've
It's
got my
that
black
time of year.
armband on, honest.
It's that time of
worry.
year, though. This is when podcasts drop off the face of the planet, and then come February, we get a bunch of new.
Don't worry about it. By that time, I would be streaming.
Yeah, there you go. You just insert Nishant where Ubuntu podcast used to be.
No,
What's
actually,
up
I'm
in-
trying to get a live stream going where we discuss Linux and I discuss Linux, review Linux OS.
Why not just join the Linux Link Tech Show or the Linux Lugcast?
Ooh,
Okay, first let's start from mintCast and see how it goes.
there you go. But yeah, I think that's a good thing though, because it'll be the 3-year mark for me. It'll round out my 3rd year. I'll be done main hosting, I guess. But I guess I'll still be around. I'm not going anywhere. I'll edit the show as needed. I'll still do stupid tweets. That whole thing. Not going too
Leo,
far.
I've sent that video link recorded using OBS.
Okay, cool.
That was done on my laptop and it handled it pretty well, I must say. That was a 1-hour long video with OBS running in the background.
Cool. I'll check it out.
Okay, and so for the audio, since you're outputting the desktop audio, all you do is what? Run up VLC and play the 2 audio clips?
Use celluloid in
Celluloid.
Cinnamon. But
What-
yeah, whatever. It
whatever,
doesn't matter.
yeah.
Whatever you like. Yep. Play the audio. The end. That is all there is to it. And there's only 2 audios that you need. The intro music, which you play once, and then the middle.
Transition music.
Yeah, that's it.
We need some outro music.
And I only ever heard a complaint from one person that we didn't have the music. So I don't know that it's absolutely 100% necessary to handle the music either. Because
What it means is Kay Wisher quit listening to the show.
It wasn't him, but yes, also yes.
That's what I mean. Kay Wisher quit listening to the show, which is why you only have 1 complaint instead of 2.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably
Okay,
true.
Leo, if you give me 5 minutes, I'll go grab some food. It's almost 2 a.m.
Yeah, well, I'm probably gonna, well, at least myself. If y'all want to continue on, you can. But I'm probably gonna kill it here in just a little bit anyway.
Yeah, it's getting late here.
Yeah. So what else y'all want to see in OBS before I close it up?
Well, hold on. Now we have Nishant that says he's going to be on Sunday. That's perfectly fine. We need to give him access to the show notes so he can put it in his bi-weekly. Do we have an actual topic, or are we just going to be talking to Nishant? Josh
Maybe I can-
and Norbert, are you going to be on next Sunday?
I mean, is that
On the
can we
show.
actually?
Yeah, the actual mintcast.
Yeah.
Can we actually be on mintCast?
Yeah.
If you want to be, as long as you set it up with us.
There's a couple things you got to do. I mean, you're already doing one of them, which is be in Discord so we can, whatever. And the other is you might as well do it right now. And same for you, Nishant, Josh, if you're interested, open up Audacity and then just press record
Oh, okay.
and see what's going on. We can play with the levels before the show or sometime between now and then.
Y'all seem to think that there's like a high bar of entry to get on the mintcast. I'm here if that tells you anything. I mean, come
Exactly.
on.
The bar is
Hey,
set
I'm the
low,
least
y'all.
techie one here, and they'd let me stay for 3 years.
See? See?
Where to get older versions of Audacity? You know, that privacy thing.
Ed,
If it records,
if you-
it's a good
no,
enough edition of Audacity.
it's fine.
Wait, on Windows, I'm not sure, but if you're using Linux, that I think everywhere where they put it in the main repo of a distro, they switch the telemetry
swear.
off.
I'm on Windows right now.
I swear, if you do podcasting on Windows on the mintcast, I will never let you live it down. I
Okay,
will
but-
torture you every day that I talk to you for the rest of existence.
Do I qualify if I'm not using Mint as
Yes.
my
Oh,
main?
yeah, of
Oh
course.
no!
Oh,
You
yeah,
can use
no, that's
any
no problem.
any distro you want. If you wanted to use BSD, I would not complain.
Here's the deal.
Mintcast, the podcast for the whole
Looks
Linux
like-
community.
Yeah, yeah. So the only thing I think that's required of you that has to do with Linux Mint is once a month,
Linux.
Clem puts out a blog post. Read it. The end. That's literally the only thing you have to do Mint-wise, and you're in. That's all you got to do. Have an opinion
Yeah, it's
about
useful
something.
if you test it out every so often.
Yeah, but you don't know.
Then
You don't
this
have to run it.
means I have to dual boot Linux and Windows.
No, you can still use Windows.
You can use Windows. I'm just gonna, mess with you about it for
Dude.
forever.
Tony keeps talking
Yeah,
about
fine.
Tony
Mess-
keeps talking
mess
about
with
Joe
me.
Ressington, but you know what Joe Ressington uses to edit? Windows.
Windows.
He uses Windows,
Premiere,
so it does not matter.
Premiere Pro.
He what?
He uses Premiere Pro.
Oh, I have no idea
Adobe
what he
Premiere
uses.
Pro?
But he's on Windows when he does it. He uses Reason. I remember he was talking about it. So he uses.
But Joe's like us. He's a pragmatist.
Yeah,
You
he
know,
doesn't care.
if he has to use it, he does.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter to us. I don't think it'll matter much to the listeners either. I mean, so long as you have your Linux Mint opinion here and there, and you don't, it doesn't even have to be a good one. You can tell us why you don't use it. That's fine.
There's loads of people that are on Linux podcasts that talk about
If
using
I may-
Windows for gaming and all sorts of stuff.
I use
Actually,
Windows
I have
for gaming.
lots of games
Yeah.
on Steam itself, so I need Windows to play it. Because the latest and greatest games don't work on Proton just yet.
Nishant, you want to know a
Properly.
secret? I game on Windows like all the time.
I game on Windows. I'm
I
on a
edit
dual
videos
boot
on
machine
Windows.
right now.
Yeah. See, we all use Windows. We're all
I've got
blasphemers.
Windows. I've got a
But
Windows
my
set up.
brother, he rarely uses Windows. He's fully on Pop OS
Oh, cool.
for the past 3 months.
But Josh has been quiet the entire time, so he's like, I'm the only one in here that actually uses Linux all the time.
I'm on a condenser mic, so I'm doing push to talk here.
Oh, hey, that's pretty smart though, and that's the kind of what's the word mic technique you would need for actually doing a recording or something like that. So
Well, we don't recommend push to talk. We recommend hot muting because a lot of time you spend a lot of time talking. If it's like your section of the bi-weekly
Oh, right.
wanderings and you got to scroll around things and holding down a key while trying to scroll or something like that makes things difficult. So I just found that hot muting is a whole lot better. And then just have
in the sense.
So push to talk is pushing while you are talking. Hot muting is using a button to mute and unmute yourself.
If you're,
Right, I'm on Mint, so I could just set the key
which
binding.
version of Mint are you on? Mate or Cinnamon?
Cinnamon.
Yeah, I think
Cinnamon.
in the new Cinnamon, as Leo said earlier on, you can do it in exactly the same way. If you go into your keyboard shortcuts, there's an audio thing, and one of the options is you mute.
You know what's
You
funny?
can just set up a shortcut key.
One thing
Okay,
that
we'll
we have,
definitely look into that.
one thing we've been missing since Moss hasn't been on the show is bass. Josh brought the bass.
Wait, is
All about the bass.
Oh, for my first show next week, should I introduce myself?
I think we might just
Then-
do a trifecta if everybody's on.
yeah, if you guys are all three on, we will do a mini interview show.
yeah, that's
And
what I wanted to
as-
suggest because
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
just talk.
I'm not sure if it could work if just 3 new people appear randomly as hosts. So I'm not sure if it.
Norbert, I just want you to go back a little bit in time. That's
Yeah, young
exactly how
Josh.
we did it.
Yeah,
It was me. It
3 years
was
ago, there was 5 of us
Yeah.
joined
yeah.
at the same time.
That episode. It was Tony Watts. It was Joe. It was me. It was what was
The
that,
other Tony.
That teacher's guy's name. Tony wasn't
No,
on to
I
the second
didn't join
episode.
the first one.
No, the other Tony.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Anthony.
Oh,
and Ant-Man.
yeah. There was like 6 of us, man. So it's totally no, it will work.
The earliest show I've listened to was the one where you split it to 2 half shows. So it was way before that. I haven't heard that one.
So yeah, so you're not far enough back in time. But yeah, that's how we did it. We just all came on. Rob introduced everybody. We all kind of said hi, and then did just a normal
And Rob
show.
said at the time, give it 3 months and most of them will have gone away. It's taken 3 years.
Yeah, it took. I guess 2.5 years ago, or I mean 2.5 years. That's
Well-
when Moss decided to call it quits for a while, and then
Well, Bo kind of dropped.
Well,
Is
time-
it-
Tony
Dave
dropped.
was Ant-Man and Dave were the first two to go, weren't they?
Dave was his name. David, that's right.
Dave doesn't count.
He was
No,
on
for
he
2
did one
episodes.
show and he came on to talk about his what was it? He
It was-
basically wanted to do a commercial for whatever he was pushing.
Yeah, and then he vanished, never to be heard from
Yeah.
again.
What about
Yeah.
Mike?
You sound okay to me on
Oh,
Discord.
the
Oh.
Mike person.
Oh,
He
Mike.
got busy.
Sorry.
So,
About,
No, he just fell into the show. He invited him on, said be a host.
well, so Mike is he came on a while back, but he quit as well. He had family obligations he's got to deal with. So,
He quasi quit.
did Moss quit officially?
Yeah.
Is he not going to host anymore?
well,
Not at the
Moss
moment,
quasi quit
definitely.
too.
I-
Yeah,
I-
he's taking a long-term break.
I think he's like me,
No,
where just right
Actually,
now he won't be
from
back.
what I know from the Telegram group, he's running Distro Hopper's Digest
Right,
full
right.
time now.
So
With,
So I think
with
he
Tony.
wants to focus on that.
he
That's what I
has
heard.
he has officially quit, but he did kind of leave the door open to come back one day.
Yeah.
When he has more time.
Do you guys have know from which episode to which episode I can hear Moss on
I don't know.
mintCast?
Try 10 episodes ago. He was
Well,
definitely on.
293 was the first one that you guys did, wasn't it?
That sounds right. I'll have to.
And so Moss was on from then, and then it's about 10 episodes back, but Moss quit.
Okay, one more question. Where do you guys upload the Audacity recordings?
We'll give you access to it.
It's a Google Drive.
And then if you guys
Oh.
make it through the second show, we'll give you permanent access to it, and you can do whatever.
What happened to moving away from Google stuff?
So yeah, that didn't happen because we don't have.
I mean, I'm not complaining because I too use Drive.
So
It's very convenient.
Yeah, that's the biggest reason that we use it, and the other big reason is that if we moved away from it, it would have to be hosted by somebody, and we don't take donations on the show, so there's no way to pay for it other than out of our pockets. So,
I did create a Ko-fi.
oh, there you go. See, so I mean, you can pay Joe, and Joe could host it for us all. See,
I figured, since I'm gonna be main hosting the show for a little while until we find somebody with an actual personality to take over.
I mean, it's my opinion, but I don't think there would be any problem with having a mintCast donation.
Any distro
setup.
suggestions for next week?
I think our decision was based solely off of what was happening before. Nobody had ever taken donations prior to us joining, so we just never did. And we on the website we just said, go donate to Linux Mint, donate to archive.org, and donate to Audacity, which are the three tools that we use to make the show. So we just redirected them. But there's no reason why you couldn't. You just got to get everybody on board.
Couldn't archive
And
post.
someone's
and-
got to take responsibility for the cash, and that was one of the things.
Oh, yeah.
Then there was also all the tax complications. That was one of the reasons we decided against it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't want to turn this into a job.
Yeah. And once you start getting paid for it and people expect stuff from you, it becomes that. But Norbert, you were saying something else.
I was thinking, couldn't archive.org host an alternative to Google Drive? Since they're already hosting the audio files.
So
Not the way that you think.
well, technically yes, but I wouldn't want to put that strain on them because we're asking FLAC. Out of Audacity, we ask for a FLAC file, which is about 200 megabytes per person. So we're talking, asking Audacity to do 1.5 gigs every other Sunday, and then asking them to host the MP3 for the few thousand folks that download the show and everything. So you could for audio storage, but the other reason that we use Drive is because we have the show notes that we can edit on the fly, and everybody sees it immediately.
Is it unlimited storage Google Drive?
15
It's
gigs.
not
No.
that
No, it's not an
okay.
unlimited storage Google Drive. The whole thing is that when you upload a file to it, it
it's
accounts
your-
against your space. So like me, I have 17 gigs on there because I've had a Google Drive account for forever, and the free
Okay.
deals occasionally roll in. But I think everybody gets a standard of 15.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. I just go in every so often and clear back the stuff that
Looks
I know
like
that we're
For
not
me, it's
using
time to
anymore.
buy a Pixel just to get that unlimited storage.
That
if
only
you're a
applies to Google
Pixel
Photos,
owner,
not Google Drive, I think.
Yeah. Well,
if you're a
I mean,
Pixel owner, you get unlimited storage. That's what
Oh,
I.
only for your
photos.
photos, not your text files and stuff.
Oh, okay.
yeah, but you can do a terabyte for like $3 a month. So,
oh,
mean-
that ain't
I
bad.
have a 100 gig plan. I'm not sure what it is in
oh, maybe it's
dollars in the US.
maybe it's $10 for the
That's
1
the
terabyte.
cheapest. So
Yeah,
No.
but I mean,
$3 is like
Shoot.
300 rupees or something. That's fine.
yeah, I wouldn't.
You can spend.
You don't need it. You will not need it. Absolutely, 100%. If you have
Yeah.
500 megabytes free in your Google Drive storage, you'll be able to hold 2 episodes at a time, and you'll be fine. There won't be any need for buying
And
anything.
anyway, if you get a mintCast address, you'll get a new Gmail account, which
With
will give you
15
a
gigs of
full
storage.
15 gig.
Right. So you'll get the
Except I
email.
don't
You'll have
use
that.
my-
Because that's what
mintCast
I
one, yeah.
use for my uploads, and then clear that out.
wait, how do you get a new Gmail with a Mintcast address?
We
Well,
set it up
Well,
for
once
you have to ask
join the show.
Leo. Yeah.
Yeah.
But are the Mintcast emails just forwarded to Gmail, or how does it work?
No.
It's hosted by Gmail, but it is a fully separate email service.
So you'll
Oh.
have to log into that specific account,
Right.
Mm.
and then I keep 2 Gmail pages up, one with my regular account, one with my mintCast account, and then I just switch
So
between.
is
the
it
2
essentially a
windows.
new Google account?
Correct.
The Mintcast?
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally separate account.
Yep. So it'll be, whatever you really want. But I mean, I guess by default, it would be like Norbert and Nishant at mintcast.org. Josh. Well, so we'd have to do something special with Josh because
There's a lot of
We
Josh's.
already have one more.
We've already got
Yeah.
2 more.
yeah,
Josh Mark 3.
We become redundant
Oh.
after a while.
I was
redundant
thinking
at
this.
mintcast.org.
Wasn't there a
Yeah,
big Josh?
We'll just call
Wars
you
thing a
Josh
while
3.
ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh.
There you
I
We'll
go.
was
just call
thinking
you
of this.
Josh 3.
Josh-
I was
it was
thinking
a-
Josh, who's on the stream, was Josh Huntech.
That was one of them, and then we had Josh from as All About Code. I mean, he's still on in the credits because he handles a lot of the website stuff for us.
Yeah,
But-
we needed that a
As
couple of
the big
weeks ago.
as the Tonys.
Oh yeah, the 2
Yeah,
Tonys.
yeah.
Now we have a third
Too
Josh.
many Tonys.
Mm.
Too many Joshes. Not
Wait,
enough Joes.
is Josh Hogg the one from All About Code?
Am I the first Indian to host mintCast?
I think everyone has been from the US for no, not from the US, from a English-speaking country.
Yeah, I don't know.
Has anyone hosted before that wasn't from an English-speaking country?
No.
Not that I can think of.
I don't think so. I think it's in mostly U.S., a little bit of U.K., and no, I think that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Great. Time to set record then
So
for this
far,
podcast.
yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
Okay, I forgot to add, I have been testing KVM on Linux and it's way faster than VirtualBox and VMware.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I use Boxes, which has KVM underneath, and it's fantastic.
I've started
Oh.
using boxes now.
But
I use the standard virtual machine manager, which comes with KVM.
nice. But we wasted all the time onboarding you onto the show. So, Nishant, keep the KVM stuff, and we'll do it on the show. Because we're basically one of the questions is going to be, what do you like to do? What have you been doing? So that can just be your bi-weekly wanderings or something like that.
Good idea. I'll prepare for Sunday show then.
Cool. That'll work.
And I'll try out the hard disk thing, which Joe suggested, like running Linux off of external hard drives.
Cool. So if y'all
Now
would,
we've got two people on that are in a time zone even later than me.
yeah,
So
That doesn't
Norbert's
matter.
an
Actually-
hour ahead of me, and Nissan is another 5 hours. So I think we're going to have to keep a very tight control of the timings.
yeah. So y'all got to get to bed sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, during this time, I will be on work, so very less work on Saturday, Sundays.
Cool.
So I
Sleep
can,
is overrated.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So,
I work for US shift. So
oh,
it's like,
okay. So you're on U.S. time anyway.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, that makes it easy then.
Mm. I'm kind of okay with my. I mean, I'm lucky because I don't. I'm working from home on Mondays, so it's not a problem for me staying up a bit late on Sunday. But it's 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. for me.
Oh, okay.
Show run
So
time, so it's fine.
that okay. Very cool. That works. So all right. So the last thing I'll ask y'all to do is, can you send me
Collect all Dragon Balls.
what?
Collect all the 7 Dragon Balls.
Yeah, hey, that would be great, and that way I can have a wish. But send me a Gmail address that I can share the show notes with you, and then I'll share a directory for you to upload your audio a little bit later as well. So once we get it all done and everything, you can upload your audio there.
Where should I?
Give me 5 minutes,
The
Leo.
Discord?
I will
And-
DM you on Discord.
Yeah, DM me on.
And what we'll do next Sunday is everybody log in and half an hour early, 45 minutes early, and we'll do sound checks. We'll make sure your Audacity is set up right. And make sure your show notes are filled out.
Well, we could have a
And
dry
all that
run on
jazz.
Saturday, couldn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
I
gonna be
guess
here
we
anyway.
could.
Yeah, we do this on Saturday too, by the way. I mean, every Saturday we just do the live stream.
The
not
message
every
could
Saturday.
not be
Fortnight.
delivered. This is usually because you don't share a server with the recipient, or the recipient is only accepting direct message from friends.
Oh, maybe that's how I said it. But you're in. Okay,
I think I have to send a friend request for.
do that. Yeah, send me a friend request,
Okay,
and
I
then
sent it already.
perfect. All right, I won't pull that up on the stream or anything because I don't want to
No.
show it. But so yeah, after I close this down, I'll take a look at those. Josh, are you on Discord?
Yeah, I'm on Discord.
Okay, cool. If you haven't friended me, friend me, and same for you, Nishant. Friend me, and then we can. I'll take that, and then I'll add you guys to the document. All right.
Sort of off topic. What are your do you have long-term plans for Linux user space?
Keep going. As far as I know, we don't plan on changing anything about it other than
Yeah.
Okay.
we'll hit our
Leo
break in
would
the summer.
rather do Linux user space than he would mintCast.
The
He's like,
reason
Yeah.
is I
Different
mentioned
recording schedule.
yeah, that's it. I mentioned it in the announcement bit that got cut out, but I'll make sure it's in this next one. But it's my daughter. I'd like to spend more time with her on the weekends because the weekdays are already kind of shot anyway, so I might as well just do something like that. And we record.
Hey, I am down for doing a 3 a.m. show.
So
That would be
Yeah.
perfect for
And-
Tony.
we
3
record.
a.m.
Woo.
Actually,
That
it
would-
would.
Wait, if
3
it's 3
a.m.
a.m.
your time.
EST, 3 a.m. EST, it would be like 9.5 hours ahead for me
Yeah.
in the morning.
Mm.
Like 11,
Should get-
11:30-ish.
So 3 a.m. your time would be 8 o'clock in the morning here.
Mm.
So that's
Sounds
perfect.
perfect.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
All right, y'all.
And then you still get to spend time with your kid. You just get to do it tired.
Oh, no.
Nisham, what time zone are you in?
Indian Standard Time, 5.5 ahead of Tony's time zone
Oh.
in UK.
Oh, now what? The only thing, should get someone from Japan.
Wow.
Imagine getting someone from Australia on this show.
Oh, we have that guy in Africa that listens, and he's
Londoner.
on Londoner. He's on every Sunday, so
Yeah, he's
I
in
wouldn't
the
mind
chat.
getting him on the show.
Well, he's been on the chat tonight.
There we
I
go.
was just asking about Linux user space because it started around the time when I got into Linux, and it was the first podcast I found about Linux to start listening, and that's how I found mintCast.
Wow.
So I
and
was-
we have that listener in Australia. He does that prepping podcast.
Hobstar.
Hobstar, there you go. Get him on the show.
If he's up that late, because what time is it in Australia right now? Sydney.
Well, it'll be morning time.
Morning time.
Australia.
It's 9 hours ahead of UK time.
Yeah.
It's 6:51. So if he can get on at 5 a.m., then we'll be good. He's a prepper, so he's always awake, right?
He's always prepared.
Depends what part of Australia you're in.
Yeah. Well, I think he's on the East Coast, right? So that would be Sydney time, whatever that is.
Right.
All right, guys. Well, if you have any questions, especially about the onboarding or anything like that, just hit me up in Discord, Telegram. You know, you know all the stuff. You hear it at the end of every episode.
Do we still have our host questions, our interview questions? I know we had them set up for a while. 'cause
We
were
can
doing
go
a
back
bunch.
to one of the episodes if we have to, and I can pull them out of the show notes.
Can we have the questions beforehand so we know what we can?
I'll put
what
them
we
in the
expect?
show notes, and when I share the show notes with you,
Normal
you should see them.
stuff. How did
Can
you
you
get your
can you accept
start?
the
When did you
request so I
start
can send my
listening?
email?
Same.
Yes,
I just didn't want to do that on live stream. So hang on, let me.
Okay, sorry.
What brought you to Linux? That type of thing.
I have one technical question left. I have at least 3 distros installed now, but one I've been using for a few months as a daily driver is Void, and I wasn't able to get Audacity to record anything, which is interesting because
Well,
it works
Joe.
on Arch and works on Debian.
Joe, get Toyam on the show and have him
yeah,
live
Toyam's talking
fix
about
it.
wanting to be back on the show because he's doing setup to do audio recordings and he wants to try some
Dude.
things out. But yeah, he's one of the maintainers on Void. So
Yep.
Oh,
so,
that's nice. Would be lovely to speak with a Void maintainer.
Has he been only once or multiple times? I've only heard once.
I think it was just the once, wasn't it?
just once, yeah,
Yeah.
an interview show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if he
And we had a couple people complain that nobody cares about Void. So I don't care. He's a Linux maintainer. We got him on the show.
yeah.
It's off topic again, but Leo, it would be fun if you could get maintainers or developers of certain distros on the show when you talk about a certain distro.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just an idea.
And so yeah, we had one guest one time, and it wasn't bad, but I guess less isn't. Are you talking about mintCast or Linux user space?
Oh, user space.
Yeah, it's we're not set up for that. I mean,
You
we
could also have
Mark
episodes where
Shuttleworth,
you try
Linus Torvalds, and everyone. I would love to see Linus Torvalds on
that would be cool.
mintCast.
Maybe a little
Yeah,
bit
if
bigger
we
first.
could get him, but
I think one of the things that one of the reasons that I don't want to do that is because I say things about distros
We've
that
gotten
aren't
emails from
favorable.
Linus.
From Linus?
What?
We've
Are
had
you sure?
emails from Linus. When we were talking about wanting to do that the Mint box, we wanted I wanted
I think you're
to
talking
review.
about Clem, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Clem, yes.
Not Linus, it was Clem. My bad.
Yeah,
We should get Clem on the show.
It's fairly
Actually, probably more elusive than Linus.
Yeah, Clem.
Yeah.
I don't know. He
Look
did
at that, Leo. I just created that email address for mintCast. Specific email.
Oh, okay, that's cool. All right. So, but yeah,
I imagine it would be harder to get a hold of Linus than it would be Clem.
maybe, but
I think.
unless
think
I mean
Linus-
I don't want the developer to have to defend themselves on the decisions that they make or something like that. So yeah,
Well,
and
If we were to do an interview with Clem, would we make him defend himself? I don't think that we would.
I would.
No.
What,
No,
I just thought that the interview with Toyam could have fit in nicely with the teams of Linux user space. So maybe if not a developer, a maintainer.
And so yeah, and it would be okay. I would be fine with it. But yeah, I also don't want to give the perception that we're pulling our punches because someone involved is on the show and we're trying to spare their feelings or something like that. So I don't know. It's not out of the question. I just haven't really thought about it too terribly.
At least with Clem, I would stick away from the political questions that he normally gets in
those are
regards to
stupid
that
anyway.
one interview that he did.
Those are dumb.
Anyways, would a FreeBSD maintainer be fine? I know one who
That would
writes
be cool.
packages for FreeBSD.
That would be really
He's my
cool.
friend, actually.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Like, he's a first-time contributor to FreeBSD.
Wow.
Cool.
He's like young like me, I think. So
All right.
recently, the FreeBSD journal published his story, like how he went from a Linux user to a Unix user.
That's cool.
And
a
the main
BSD
reason was
user. BSD is not Unix. It's like Unix, but it's not Unix.
because many things were breaking in
I
Linux and he
thought it
couldn't
was
fix it.
Unix.
It's Unix-like. I mean, it's a POSIX compliant system and everything, but and they try to keep it, but
No,
it's not Unix.
Leo, free BSD is Unix.
I bet AT&T would have something to say about that.
Can you check? Can you Google it, please?
Well, it's definitely not AIX.
Yeah. No,
Because-
it's
Put it this way, it's more Unix than we are.
Oh, yeah,
Than Linux is.
100%.
But I don't understand who goes from Linux to Unix just because you can't fix things on Linux.
Netflix.
No, I mean, I was confused when I read that journal stating Charlie. His name is Charlie. He stays in like Philadelphia side. So he went from Linux to Unix just because he couldn't fix things in Linux.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. If it tickles your fancy, then there you go. All right. Well, I gotta close it up. We gotta
Okay, sure.
we gotta
Sorry
do
to
this.
delay.
I will probably have to watch the video several times before I get a handle on all that info about open.
Well, Tony, if you're watching the
OBS.
video, when you catch it, tell me the timestamps, and I'll just YouTube DL it for you, chop it down, and give you only the good bits.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Josh, Nishant, Norbert, thank you guys for coming on. Thank you for sticking your neck out and at least tentatively coming on next Sunday. And we'll probably see you
You can
Saturday.
be sure, Leo, that I am
All right,
confirmed
guys.
for next Sunday.
All
Not
right.
tentative.
Cool. We'll see you
Well,
guys
hopefully
again.
then we'll see you on Saturday
Yep. That way
for
we'll get
the
everything
pre-show.
sorted.
The pre-show chat.
All right.
Okay, sure.
Wait.
Yeah.
All right.
Saturday?
Take care, everybody.
Is that the
Yeah. Good night, guys.
15th?
What's
of
that?
Next Saturday.
Yeah, same time. Same time as the live stream. We just don't live stream it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
See y'all later.
On
Okay,
the
see you.
18th.
18th. Yeah.
Correct.
Good night.
Good night.